Imagine waking up one morning, stepping outside and realizing the sun is gone. No sunrise, no warmth, just darkness. What would happen to Earth? Would we freeze instantly? Would gravity change? And most importantly, could we survive? Let's find out what would happen if the sun disappeared for 24 hours. The sun is the heart of our solar system. It provides warmth, light, and energy that sustains all life on Earth. But what if, for one entire day, the sun simply vanished? Would we even survive those 24 hours? To answer this, we need to break it down into several key effects. Instant darkness. If the sun disappeared, we wouldn't notice it immediately, at least not in an instant, because light from the sun takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth. So, for the first 8 minutes after the sun disappears, everything would look normal. Then, suddenly, total darkness would engulf half the planet. Day would turn into night instantly, and the only light sources left would be the moon, the stars, and artificial city lights. But there's a catch. The moon would also go dark. That's because the moon doesn't generate its own light. It only reflects sunlight. Without the sun, the moon would become an invisible dark rock in the sky. So, half the Earth would be plunged into total darkness, while the other half, already experiencing nighttime, wouldn't notice much change. But darkness is just the beginning. The real danger? Temperature drop. The temperature plunge. Without the sun's heat, Earth would begin cooling almost immediately. Within the first 24 hours, global temperatures would drop by about 5 to 7 degrees Celsius, 9 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Oceans, which act as heat reservoirs, would help keep coastal areas warmer for a while. Cities would rely heavily on electricity and heating systems to combat the cold. But the real problem would come after 24 hours, as temperatures would keep falling rapidly. If the sun didn't return within a week, Earth's average temperature could drop below minus 17 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Gravity. One of the biggest misconceptions is that if the sun disappeared, Earth would immediately lose its gravity and everything would start floating. That's not true. The sun's gravity is what keeps Earth in orbit. If the sun suddenly vanished, we wouldn't feel any immediate changes. Just like with light, it takes time for gravity to travel. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for sunlight to reach us, and the same goes for gravitational effects. So, for 8 minutes, Earth would keep orbiting as if nothing happened. But after that, with no sun to hold us in place, Earth would start moving in a straight line into space at about 107,000 kilometers per hour, 66,000 miles per hour. For 24 hours, this wouldn't make a huge difference, but over time, Earth would drift farther into the freezing vacuum of space, an eventual death sentence if it didn't return. The impact on life. Plants depend on sunlight for photosynthesis, the process that produces oxygen and energy. If the sun disappeared for a day, photosynthesis would pause, but most plants could survive temporarily. However, nocturnal animals might get confused, since they rely on the cycle of night and day. Birds that use the sun for navigation would struggle. Insects, which are sensitive to temperature changes, could start dying off. Humans would also face issues. Panic and chaos would break out as people realize something is wrong. Power grids would be overwhelmed by people turning on lights and heating systems. Air traffic control and communication satellites might be affected due to temperature fluctuations in the atmosphere. The atmosphere and weather. Yes, Earth's atmosphere would stay intact, for now. The sun doesn't hold our atmosphere in place. Gravity does. So the air wouldn't disappear. However, weather patterns would change drastically since they rely on the sun's heat. Winds and ocean currents that depend on temperature differences would slow down or behave unpredictably. For 24 hours, this wouldn't be catastrophic, but if the sun stayed gone, storms, freezing winds, and even atmospheric collapse could follow. Thankfully, the sun isn't going anywhere for another 5 billion years, so we don't have to worry about this nightmare scenario. But what if Earth actually stopped rotating? That's an even crazier possibility, and if you want to know what would happen, check out our next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another mind-blowing what would happen scenario. Until next time, stay curious.